In World War I, tanks were introduced to cross trenches and break battlefield deadlocks. After the war, tank technology evolved rapidly between 1918 and 1940, becoming faster, stronger, and more reliable. Military leaders studied these machines carefully, developing new armored strategies. Across Europe, nations prepared different tank doctrines, shaping the future of modern warfare. In 1940, Soviet engineer Oleg Antonov introduced a bold and unconventional idea. While working at his drafting table, he imagined combining air power with armored warfare. His sketches showed a tank fitted with wings, designed to glide silently onto the battlefield. This radical concept became known as the A-40 flying tank, one of the most ambitious experiments in military engineering history. Work soon began inside Soviet factories as engineers attempted to turn the idea into reality. A standard T-60 light tank was selected as the base, chosen for its relatively light weight. Massive wooden biplane wings were attached to the tank's hull, transforming it into a strange hybrid of aircraft and armor. Unlike normal gliders, the tank itself served as the cockpit, controlled from inside the armored interior. With an enormous wingspan designed to carry it through the air, the A-40 project pushed engineering limits, often creating confusion and chaos on the factory floor. Still, under the vision of Oleg Antonov, the flying tank slowly took shape.
Enter Adolf Hitler. Hitler saw an opening. The German people were angry, humiliated, and desperate for someone to restore their pride. He promised them exactly that, a return to greatness. He tapped into their resentment and offered them unity, economic security, and a vision of a powerful Germany rising from the ashes. And it worked. The Nazis started building massive infrastructure projects, created jobs, and gave people hope. Hitler became their savior. But ambition doesn't stop at recovery. In 1935, Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles by reintroducing compulsory military service. In 1936, he marched 30,000 troops back into the Rhineland. He was testing the Allies, and they did nothing. Then came Austria in March 1938. German forces marched in and were greeted with cheers. The Allies, still nothing. Next on Hitler's list, Czechoslovakia. Rich in resources like iron, it was the perfect target. The Allies were alarmed but still desperate to avoid another war. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain flew to Germany 3 times trying to negotiate with Hitler. At the Munich Conference in September 1938, Britain, France, and Italy agreed to let Germany annex the Sudetenland, the German-speaking part of Czechoslovakia, as long as Hitler promised not to invade the rest. Chamberlain returned to London waving a piece of paper, declaring, "Peace in our time." He was hailed as a hero for avoiding war. But 6 months later, in March 1939, Hitler invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia anyway. The truth was clear. Hitler's goal wasn't just to reclaim lost territory. It was to build a massive German empire across Central and Eastern Europe, what he called living room for the German people. His plan was to consolidate power, defeat France and Britain, and then turn east to crush Bolshevism and expand into Soviet territory. One by one, the dominoes fell. Austria, Czechoslovakia, and the Allies kept hoping diplomacy would work. It didn't. Hitler kept pushing, and the world stood by and watched until it was too late. Subscribe for more deep dives into the events that shaped history. After release, the A-40 glided smoothly through the afternoon sky, its wooden wings holding steady as the crew marveled at the view below. Fields, forests, and villages stretched out like a peaceful patchwork, giving a rare moment of serenity amidst wartime chaos. As the tank approached the landing field, its descent was controlled, and the wheels touched down with a dusty but triumphant impact. The wings were quickly detached, and the T-60's engine roared back to life, allowing the tank to drive away calmly, leaving behind the strange remnants of an ambitious experiment.
In
that had briefly
1942,
taken
the
flight.
dream of the flying tank was officially grounded. Oleg Antonov personally shelved the ambitious A-40 blueprints. It was a bittersweet moment. The project was over, but the daring spirit behind it remained. Today, the A-40 rests in the halls of history, a dignified relic of an era that wasn't afraid to ask, what if? Its wooden wings, once meant to lift armor into the sky, now stand as silent witnesses to a bold engineering leap. It joined a gallery of magnificent, crazy ideas, each one a stepping stone toward the future. From these wild dreams, the Antonov legacy of legendary aircraft was truly born. In 1942, the dream of the flying tank was officially grounded. Oleg Antonov personally shelved the ambitious A-40 blueprints. It was a bittersweet moment. The project was over, but the daring spirit behind it remained. Today, the A-40 rests in the halls of history, a dignified relic of an era that wasn't afraid to ask, what if? Its wooden wings, once meant to lift armor into the sky, now stand as silent witnesses to a bold engineering leap. It joined a gallery of magnificent, crazy ideas, each one a stepping stone toward the future. From these wild dreams, the Antonov legacy of legendary aircraft was truly born.